Good morning and welcome to the SLP Solution Morning Show. I am your host, Carrie Clark with slpsolution.com. And today is Wednesday, August 22nd. It doesn't feel like we should already be at the end of August. Hopefully some of you are back to school and getting back into the groove of things. And today's episode, we have a fun tool that you can use on any kind of device or platform that you're on. It's called a text expander. And we're going to talk about how text expanders can help you save time on pretty much anything you do on a screen. So anytime you're typing things, these text expanders are going to save you so much time. And paperwork has been the theme of the show so far. We've been talking a lot about how to save time on paperwork. So this is going to be really, really helpful today. All right, so I'm going to jump right in today. I don't have a fun mug to show you. Usually I do today is fueled by, but we just have my regular Target mug. If you have a mug that you want me to have on the show, you can send that to me. Send me a message and I'll tell you how to get that to me. But let's talk about text expanders. So a text expander is essentially a tool where you type in one short thing and it expands it into a long thing. That is the basics of a text expander. There's a lot of different softwares, a lot of different programs that can do this, and they all work essentially the same. You get to select what the short text is and what the long text is. So how have I used this in the past? One of the ways I use this a lot is SOAP notes. I worked at a place where I needed to have a SOAP note for every session. So I had a text expander set up for each of the different things that I found myself writing over and over again in my SOAP notes. So for example, if I typed in the letters S-U-B and then a colon and then hit the space bar, that would expand into my subjective part of the SOAP note. So it would say something along the lines of the client was cooperative and compliant throughout the session. Something that I found myself writing over and over again when I was writing these SOAP notes. Now, obviously that's not going to apply to every one of your clients. So you could have multiple different scripts that you use. Maybe there's a script that you tend to use when the client was not compliant throughout the setting, and you have a very nice way of saying that. So you have a short code that expands into that one. For the objective part, I had one that would start off the sentence with, today we worked on the skill of, with a blank, and then the client, something really well worded that I can't think of right now, but something along the lines of the client was able to do this skill with blank % accuracy. So I would have that fill in, and then I would just fill in the little pieces. The next one I had was one for the A part of it, and that would be, did their skills or their accuracy increase or decrease? So I would have decrease 1. If I typed in decrease 1 spacebar, it would say the accuracy on this skill decreased since the last session. Or increase all, it would say the client increased accuracy on all goals from the previous session. So basically think about anything that you tend to type over and over again in your job, whether it's your notes on your clients. How about those IEP impact statements? The same impact statement keeps being used over and over when you're saying, how does the child's vocabulary deficit impact him in the classroom? Chances are, every time you write that, it sounds pretty similar. So just write it once and then have a short code. So when you're in your IEP software, you write that short code for vocabulary impact, you hit the space bar, and it expands into this lovely, nicely worded statement about how their vocabulary deficit impacts them in the educational setting. That's a great use of the text expander. I've used this a lot when replying to emails. So when you are answering your emails, do you have something that you say over and over again? Are you constantly quoting people the procedures for what to do if they have concerns on their students' speech and language skills or their child's speech and language skills? If you have a common thing that you tend to reply with a lot, you can shorten that into a short code, type the short code, and then it'll expand into that lovely paragraph that you've already written multiple times and save you all that time when you're replying to emails. Other ways that I've used this, let's see. Appointment reminders. If you're working in private practice and you need to send a quick appointment reminder on your phone, you can have a short code for that says, hey, just wanted to let you know your child's appointment is tomorrow. If you need to cancel or reschedule, you can call me back at this number or reply to this text. So you have that all written out, and you have a short code that you can just send 3 letters to each client, and it's going to send them that full appointment reminder. Other ways I've used this are welcome notes to families or clients. So if there's something that you tend to email to a new client's parents to welcome them into your practice or to thank them for whatever it is that they did, you can have that as a short code as well. So the best way to get started on this is over the course of the next week, every time you start typing something that you think, wow, I typed this a lot, type it out and then copy and paste it and put it in a Word document. Just have a running list for the next week. Then when you get to the end of that week, look at those things and see, okay, if I had a short code for each of these things, how much time could I save? I'm willing to bet it's gonna be a ton. So then you download one of these software programs, and I'm gonna tell you a bunch of them that are free, so you don't even have to pay for this. And then you insert those paragraphs or whatever it is into your short codes, and you get used to using those. And by the time you've got the hang of this, you're gonna be saving a ton of time on anything that you're doing with paperwork or using the computer or typing things. So I'm gonna talk to you about a few different options for text expanders in the different programs. So if you are on your iPhone or your iPad, this is super simple to do. It's already built into the actual device. Just go into Settings, go to General, and then Keyboard, and you'll find an option called Text Replacement. When you click on that, you'll have a list of all of your, anything that you already have in there. Apple does install a couple of those already, so that if you say like, I think BRB, it'll pop up to be right back, you know. So there's a couple of different shortcodes they may already have in there. Or you can go to the plus sign at the top of the screen, and that will allow you to add a new one. You just type in what the shortcode's gonna be and what the expanded text is gonna be. You wanna make sure that your shortcode that you pick is not something that you're accidentally gonna type another time when you don't want the expanded text. So don't just use, obviously, the word the, because you're gonna use that one a lot. So make it something that's like an abbreviation or an acronym or something that's not gonna come up a lot in your normal typing. So that's how to do it on iPhone or iPad. If you have Windows, the one that I really like is called Phrase Express, and you can go to phraseexpress.com. That has a free option if you're just using it for personal use. If you use it for business, they do ask that you pay for a license on that, but it's not very expensive. And then there's another one that I have not used, but I've heard good things about, called autohotkey.com. So that's another one that you can use on Windows. And then if you are on Mac OS, so if you have a Mac, there is one that's built in. It works pretty much the same as the one on the iPad or the iPhone. It's not super robust, so you can get more robust ones that will have more functions and more options and possibilities. So that would be, the ones that have more features would be textexpander.com. That's a Mac system one. Or there's one called Typinator, and that is from Ergonis, ERGONIS is the company name, and then Typinator, TYPINATOR. That's the other one. I'll put these in the comments of the Facebook video as soon as I get done here. So if you are watching or if you're watching this on iTunes or on YouTube, you can always go back to the Facebook page, go to facebook.com/SLP solution, and I'll have all the links to these different tools in there so you can click on those. And these are not affiliate links. I'm not making any money off this. I just want to share this tool because really anytime that you're writing the same thing over and over again, you can use a short code for that and save yourself time. And I found that these were incredibly helpful, especially when I was running my private practice and even when I was working in the schools, because I had, these certain things that I would say over and over again. And I would think, man, I worded that really nicely the last time I did this. How do I get that back? So you can just save it once and use it over and over again. All right, if you have a tip that you would like me to cover on the SLP Solution Morning Show, you can send that to slpmorning@gmail.com, and I will be searching through those emails to find good topics to talk to you guys about here on the SLP Solution Morning Show. And we are now on iTunes, so you can listen in the car. Head on over to iTunes and search for SLP Morning Show, and you will find this podcast. You can like that and subscribe. No, subscribe and review. What is it you do over there? You can also like and follow the Facebook page for SLP Solution and get notified every morning when we go live. We are doing these currently at 9:30 Central Time Zone every weekday morning. So you'll be able to get access to that if you are following our page so that it will let you know when we go live. Also, if you would like more help with speech and language stuff, you can head over to slpsolution.com. We have 3 different professional memberships. There's one for children, speech language pathologists that work with children, one for the medical field, and one for private practice. So we've got all kinds of resources, supports, trainings. We're going to be doing a free CEU coming up on ethics, and we have a ton of other ASHA CEU approved courses in there as well, so you can check those out. Lots of goodies over there. So head on over to slpsolution.com, and we will see you tomorrow morning on the SLP Solution Morning Show over on Facebook at 9:30 Central Time. All right, thanks so much, guys, and have a great day.